Okay, this is going to be the second half or part 2 of our practice for our micrography assignment. At this point, we've got our coffee cup and we've pretty much replaced the photograph with the Illustrator version with our shapes that we created with the pen tool, the oval tool, or whatever tools you use to create that. And at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to put the word cup right here for the shape cup. And we're going to put the word coffee right here for the shape of coffee. Okay. So what I'm going to do first off is I'm going to create a new layer. Not really sure what's on that layer. I don't think anything's on that layer. Oh, that's my watermark. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the type tool. Okay. I'm going to cut the eye on that layer. Press the cursor here, and it looks like the font is really big right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lower that down by quite a bit. Okay. Now this lorem ipsum is just something that's sort of a default word. It's showing you the type Franklin Gothic heavy, which actually that might work for us. We want something kind of blocky, but that's really blocky. We might could give something a little more character to it. But right now I'm going to highlight that and type the word cup. Whoops. I'm just going to delete it all, type the word cup in all uppercase. Okay. So when you typed yours out, yours might be teeny tiny small, maybe like that, or even like that, and you just can't see it hardly. I mean, you can see that, but you might have to increase the size of yours by quite a bit. So we're actually going to really rescale this by quite a bit, but right now I want to pick the type of font I want to use. The main thing you want to stay away from is anything that's kind of really narrow, kind of a narrow font, kind of like that. Probably ought to get something a little bit thicker because we really want to fill up that space. I think I'd used this font recently. We can also select our font by going up here to type and then find it this way as well. Again, I think I'd used this one previously and I kind of like that, but let's scroll down here and see what else we got. Impact, I want to use impact. No, it's kind of bland. I can't pronounce that. Still, that's kind of bland too. Let's see. Probably avoid some. Well, I don't know. That's kind of neat. Got some character to it. Just worried about these kind of serifs, how that's going to look, but we'll give it a shot. Why not? All right. So I'm going to go up here and pick my selection tool. Okay. And that immediately puts this, kind of a box, these little boxes in the corners. And what I can do with that, I can position this where I want it. Now, where I'm going to want to position this and how I want to do this is I want to fill this kind of crescent shape with this word, okay? So the best thing I can do right now is really stretch the U down to the bottom here and the U up to the top here, and then the P to the edge here and the C to the edge here, okay? So I'm going to do that now. Bring that up to there. I think I can get this out of the way. Yeah, there we go. So we'll pull this down to here. Pull this back up there so we got pulled down a little bit. Now pull this over to about here. Pull this over to about here. Okay. So we're going to work with that. All right. So from here, we're actually going to go up to Object. I hope I didn't forget here. Okay. Envelope Distort. Make with Mesh. Okay. So here it's going to say Envelope Mesh. Rows of 4, columns of 4. That's going to work pretty good. Anything more than that could really be pretty tedious and create a lot of work. Anything less than that may not give us enough control. So I'm going to click OK on that. All right. This is where things are going to get kind of interesting. We're going to distort this object to take on. I wonder if I can put that over here. To take on the shape. And really what you want to do, this kind of curve, this contour right here, this straight, you want it to kind of take on that and repeat that as it comes down. And then this is straight through the middle, but then you want things to kind of curve, like with this line, you want to curve, and obviously with this one, it's going to curve and take on that shape. So we're going to need the direct selection tool, and I'm going to show you that each one of these, actually, I need to change the color on that. Let's see. As far as my path goes, get off of black. Let's go with kind of a dark blue. Okay, I like that better. Okay, you can see each one of these has its own handle, right? So anyway, we got to manage all that. So here's what I'm going to do. Start over here on the left-hand side with the C. I'm going to pull and stretch that up. It's going to look funky at first. And I just got to keep moving things. Now I'm going to be turning the handle in a little bit. Turn this handle down a little bit. Turn this handle up a little bit. And try to take on that shape. See how that's already started to take on that shape? That's all because, again, these handles have a great degree of what that looks like in terms of making this work. Okay. So just remember, these handles is what you're going to have to really manage. Not only just the anchor points, but also these handles. Okay. So let's pull this one. We got to tuck this one up under. Now this is starting to really look bad. All right, remember we need to make this line kind of curve this way, right? So let's kind of curve this in, curve this in, curve this in. Now, what's keeping this kind of going like that is because of these handles. Now I need to curve this handle in this way. I need to curve this handle in this way. And curve this handle down this way. I need to curve this handle down that way. Curve this handle out this way. Curve this handle in this way. See how it's kind of going kind of in and out, kind of like that? Again, that's because these handles let me curve these down this way. I bring that down a little bit. Bring that up a little bit. Bring this over here a little bit. And just get everything kind of in the right place. Move this over a little bit. It's a lot of micromanaging, which by now you should know that's what Illustrator is good for. Let's see. So it's kind of bulging out a little bit. So I tuck that back in. So bring this out. All right, that's looking pretty good. That C's not looking too bad. That looks kind of wonky right there. I'll tuck that in just a little bit. Okay. Look too bad. Something right there. All right. A lot of work, right? So now I got this side. I don't think there's gonna be a lot we need to do this U because it's right in the center of the cup. So I might pull this down just a little bit. Which means I might pull this down a little bit. Reason is, things are kind of larger up here and smaller down there because things kind of curve inwards. There we go. That's looking a lot better. Now, I'm going to show you pictures of cross contour when we get started on this. And just the logic in cross contour, like typographical maps, things like that, things you've probably seen before. So this whole side looks pretty good. You can notice how this side looks kind of flat versus this side starting to really take on the look of that cup. So I'm going to zoom out, right? Okay. So now we got to do this side. So we're going to bring this corner up, way up, so that P comes up in the corner. Pull this up a bit. Pull that down a bit. We're going to work with this P some right here. All right, so let's start to get these. Before I start messing with the handles, that's it. I think I got to messing with the handles too early. Got to really get these anchor points in the right position first before I can really spend some time on those handles. And just get the main parts with the anchors in the right place, then I can go in and start adjusting everything with the handles. First of all, get the anchors where I need them, and then I can focus on the handles. See how this kind of looks all kind of wavy? And again, that's because these handles now need to be put in alignment with the anchors that they're tied to. Probably zoom in a little bit here. Not really help. That's too flat. I gotta go with this curve. See this curve right here? That's essentially the curve I'm trying to create across here. And the curve is right through here is the same curve I'm trying to kind of create through here, except a little straighter. See how it just sort of straightened that out? See how I straighten that out? You just got to make sure his handles fall along in the direction they need to be. Oops. So for instance, this handle goes up this way. It needs to be going down that way. Therefore, it's kind of taking on that contour. So now it's kind of pointing up this way. Just kind of point down that way. Try and get that kind of lined up there. Just gotta be patient. This will really get you good with Bezier handles and what they do, how they work. Okay. So if I get this one to kind of help out some. Alright, pretty good. All right, so I'm back out on this. And there we go. We now have the word cup in the shape of the cup. Okay. That feels a little wonky right there, but it's not too bad. I could go in and kind of refine things a little bit, and later on I can show you another little trick to kind of take this even a step further, but I won't do that right now. So actually, I would like this to be maybe something more close to the color of the cup, but maybe stick out from the cup or contrast, right? So what I can do is I think I can take, not sure, let's see. The color, the eyedropper tool, and oh no, that's not going to let's do it. Okay, we're going to have to take this to the next step, okay, if we want to change the color. So here's what I'm going to do. we're going to go to Object, and this is something totally new y'all have never done before. It's called Expand Appearance, and boom, there you go. Check it out. Let's zoom in on this. We now have created our letter into a path with anchor points that now are shaped this way. So this is where I could then go in and kind of refine things even a little bit more in terms of their shape if I felt they were a little wonky when I got done with the mesh. So if you want to kind of improve things, change things, adjust things, this would be a good time to do it. All right. Just like over here, I feel like this is a little wobbly. I like that better, right? And this right here actually could probably come down a little bit. Oops. Actually, I could probably get rid of some of these anchor points. I go to the minus key. You know, if I have the P key, which is the pen tool, and I hit the minus key, now if I go in here and click on some of these anchor points, I can delete them. So there's just more than I really need right there. So if I really want to, I could then, now the A key to go back to the direct selection tool, go in and bring this up to here, bring this up to here, and you know, again, get really meticulous and micromanage. Again, I don't think we need so many of these anchor points. You don't have to go quite to the extent of what I'm doing, but I wanted to show you what is possible. Okay. Now that we have this basically as expanded and a path, now I can take my eyedropper tool and make the letters the same color as what's there, except now I'm going to double click on the fill, bring that up, maybe make it a little bit darker, or I can even make it lighter. Whatever you like to do, just so that it kind of stands out a little duller or a little brighter in color. Whatever you would like to do, right? To make that letter kind of stand out or kind of blend in to the point of what you want it to. So now I'm going to zoom out and check it out. Now it's more kind of subtle. And we have the word cup where the cup is. Now what I would like to do is go ahead and do the word coffee right here as well. So I'm going to put the word cup on this layer and lock it, and then create a new layer. And then come over here and type in coffee. I'll put my cap up, delete all that, put my cap locks on. Now I'm going to go to my direct selection tool, or no, my selection tool, right? And now I got to really bring this one down in size. All right, now just as before, And I can change the color on this right now. I mean, not just as before, where I tried to change the color on this, but I already put the mesh on it, but I couldn't change the color this way on the font. I had to do the expand. But when it is just like this, before I've used the mesh, I can go in with the eyedropper tool and I thought maybe I'm wrong. Looks like I'm wrong. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to change the color. So let's just do it the way we did it. We'll go ahead and skew the letters to the shape, and then we'll expand it, and then we'll change the color. So here we go. Let's do it again. We're going to go to Object, Envelope Distort, Make with Mesh, click on OK, and then go in and start skewing everything. Now this is going to be a lot different than the other one. We don't have the it's not like cross contour this time. It's going to be awkward. Just essentially going to be pinching it. So I'm having to figure this one out. I know this needs to come in like that. And this needs to come in basically like that. Really weird, but it's working. Bring this one in a little bit. Could do this one kind of cross contour like, or I could kind of keep these straight. It just sort of makes sense that these would also be kind of curved like that too, maybe skewed a little bit, maybe, yeah, kind of perspective like. So we'll bring that in like that. Actually, it kind of looks kind of neat, kind of wavy like this. Calls it's coffee, it's something that's kind of ripply, So maybe I won't kind of make this so perfect, because it does kind of make sense like that, I mean, really. So, it being all wavy, I mean, it is a liquid surface. So maybe I won't try to fix this so much. Maybe it's better this way. Can't see that. I mean, maybe I can work with some of this a little bit. At least right there. Yeah, I kind of like that. He's really messed up looking though. All right, getting there. Boy, that E looks terrible. Hardly make it out. All right, looks like, whew. There we go. Still looks really messed up. That's just it. I mean, at what point of what, how much distortion, what kind of distortion is going to make this look right, you know? It's like the E has now gotten so distorted where we really can't make it out. Oops, I kind of just messed all that up. So you take things as far as you feel like you need to take them in order to get things to look right, or at least good. Because we are definitely distorting things, right? All right, so I'm going to zoom out on this, take a look at that. So we can sort of make out, you know, the word coffee. I don't like that E right there. I probably, actually, this is what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to go and do as we did earlier, go up to Object, go to, Do I need to rasterize? I thought earlier all we did was go to expand. All right, maybe we need that selection tool. That was it. We need the selection tool rather than the direct selection tool to have it selected in order for expand to be active. So now we can expand it, and now it's like that. Now I can go with the direct selection tool, and now I can start fixing things here to make it more like an E. And that orange doesn't look good against that brown. Try violet. Oops. Now I'm trying to do is make this E look a little bit more like the E that's over here. really can't figure out what's going on over here. Let's get rid of some anchor points. Let's see, it looks kind of nothing like that one. I kind of turn that up a little bit. All right. Pretty funky looking, but trying to find anchor over here. There we go. All right. All right. Feel better about that E. That was a lot of work, but I feel a lot better about it. Still looks pretty bad, but you know, maybe I could always go in and do some more work in order to get it just exactly the way I want it. But the main thing now is I can change the color. If I go to Control A, I'll select everything, get the eyedropper tool, select that color. It's the same color. Maybe I'll go something a little darker, maybe a little lighter this time. Yeah, I think I like that. Something a little bit lighter. Select off of that. And that looks pretty cool. Okay. Now my cup might be a little darker now. The letters cup, I feel like maybe I could always go back in, select that, maybe darken it up a little bit, and go with that. Now I can get all dialed in. Looks good. Now you're ready to turn it in, of course. You go to File. Basically, you can save it because we're just continuing working on what we've been working on to save. And then go to Export, Export As, and you just Micrography Coffee Cup JPEG, and you click, you click Export. It's going to tell you to basically replace it because you've already got that there. You say yes. So now you're ready to turn that in, okay? Because in your folder, if you turn it into the right place on your desktop, mine is my digital design here, Kenneth Mulwee. There's my Micrography coffee cup right there. Okay, ready to be turned in. All right, that's it.